Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I guess I'm kind of getting a late start here on a Friday night. It's almost 8 p.m. as I finally get to recording my content for today, and there's a lot to talk about. Take a look at this headline from Daily Hodl. Massive transfers indicate Ripple sold 100 million XRP in December, which might be true. I'll share with you the specifics and some of my thoughts on this. But that's the bulk of what I'm going to be talking about in this particular video. But I do have a fun story I'm going to share towards the end. This is from Daily Hodl. Crypto now buys Whoppers, Shakes, and Fries at Burger King in Venezuela, anyway. But before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button and go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, because if you do, I will do your laundry for the next month. Now, that's a fair deal. Okay? One-time offer, though. So, there's actually a couple articles that cover the same content. I'm going to jump into this one first. This one's from You Today. 900 million XRP goes back to escrow after Ripple released 1,256,000,000 coins on January 1st. And so they tabulated that in a very specific way. They put together a number that had really nothing to do with the escrow. So let me get into it. As reported by You Today previously, on January 1st, Ripple sent approximately 256 million XRP to its funding wallet 1, which allegedly belongs to Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen. Later on the same day, its escrow wallet traditionally released 1 billion coins. Now, Ripple sends 900 million back to escrow. What has happened to the remaining 100 million XRP, the community asks in the comment thread to the Whale Alert post. And you can see on the screen here, here's 3 transactions putting 900 million XRP away, locked back into escrow. Now, the last couple months, you may recall that, of course, 1 billion came out each of the last couple months, of course. It happens every month. And 100% of that ended up getting locked back up in another escrow. And so people are saying, so wait a minute, so Ripple didn't sell any XRP for a couple months out of the last quarter? Well, not so fast. Not necessarily true, because Ripple does have billions of XRP that are not in escrow. It's just the vast majority of their holdings, yes, in escrow, but they have tons of XRP that's not, and they already barely sell any. So frankly, they could put the 1 billion back into escrow for I don't know, I didn't run the numbers on it, but for a very long time, and still be able to sell XRP at the current levels that they're selling it. But in this particular case, there was 900 million XRP that did go back in escrow. So let's take a look further. On the first day of 2020, Ripple transferred 256 million to a funding wallet 1, which allegedly belongs to Chris Larsen, company's co-founder. I actually reported on that a couple days ago. Several hours later, a regular billion XRP was released from Ripple's escrow, as it usually happens on the first day of the month. Each time, when such a massive amount of XRP is released and Whale Alert reports it, users in the comment thread accuse Ripple of dumping the coins to the market and keeping its price low, which is completely bogus. And I was before recording this video, I was reviewing some of the data from the Q3 2019 XRP markets report from Ripple. And it's so dramatic. Like, take a look from Q3 to Q2. Look at this line. Look at this bullet point. Ripple sold 66.24 million XRP in the third quarter of 2019, which is a 73.7% decrease in sales in XRP quarter over quarter, as measured in United States dollars. So dramatically down, didn't do anything for the price. That's why I keep going to the Ripple sells based on what the volume is of XRP. So it's just a certain percentage of the volume is what they're willing to sell, because they know at this percentage, it will never materially affect the price of XRP. Of course, technically, any sale of XRP affects it. Like, you could sell 1 XRP on the open market. Technically, that has an effect. Very small, right? Really hard to even detect it. Well, Ripple's selling so little that it's not detectable either. So let me go a little bit further, and let's talk about this 100 million. Where was I here? Okay, at press time, XRP is sitting at 19 cents per coin market cap, but an analyst recently made a prediction that the coin's price may get back up to the 30-cent level coming out of a falling wedge pattern. Now, if you think about the 100 million XRP that did not go into escrow, was it sold? Well, historically, obviously, XRP that does not go back into escrow, that probably means that it's sold. And look at the dollar amount here. Let me pull this back up. Okay, so the dollar amount in the third quarter market report that was sold was $66.24 million. So you can imagine if, XRP being, about 19 cents at the time I'm recording this, if 100 million XRP were sold, that would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $19 million. So if that's all that were sold for 1 month, that's about 1/3 of the dollar value that was highlighted here in the third quarter market report. So could it be? Yeah, that wouldn't be terribly surprising, but we're not going to know for sure what the numbers are until the fourth quarter report comes out a couple weeks from now. And I'm very curious about that because there's been a lot of speculation, like I was just talking about with throughout the community, with Ripple having, for at least 2 of the months, put 100% of the escrowed XRP back into escrow. But I still think that some was sold, and this is just a guess. I don't know. It's just like a for fun guess. I'd be willing to bet that over the entirety of the 3 months, the XRP was still sold, even if it didn't come out of that escrowed portion that ended up getting locked in new escrow accounts right there. So we shall see here. Let me scroll down a little bit further now. Here we go. This is something. So this is something of a different topic, but it's in the same article I want to cover. Maddie Greenspan criticizes Ripple. Commenting on such XRP releases, the founder of Quantum Economics, Maddie Greenspan, stated that Ripple has 2 main issues to do with XRP. Ripple holding a large amount of XRP and selling it regularly, and the fact that most of Ripple's partners do not need to use the coin as they utilize Xcurrent, which, unlike on-demand liquidity, is not powered by this digital token. Now, I made a video where I kind of squashed that because the arguments are bogus, so I don't really want to get into that again. Anyway, he promises to go deeper into this issue and explain his criticism against Ripple in his daily newsletter on Saturday. So I look forward to that. And so here's a tweet from, okay, I see that the XRP community is insistent here. So tell you what, I'll write it up in tomorrow's newsletter, the case for and against a bridge currency in an era of digital fiat. So I thought I'd mention it since it is in the article, and I'm sure I'm going to want to talk about that. I'm very curious to see what he's going to write, but the way he's analyzing the position, as I reported on a video just the other day, to me, it's not following. It's not acknowledging certain facts, and I think it's resulting in just faulty conclusions. So that's just my gentleman's disagreement with Maddie, but he's still very bullish on XRP. It's just from time to time I see some stuff from him, I'm like, I don't think you know what you're talking about entirely here. All right, next, here is a tweet from XRP Crypto. He sent this to my inbox, so I wanted to share it with you. And he wrote this. The European Central Bank could offer a digital token currency that would circulate in a decentralized way without central ledger. That's fascinating, isn't it? Think about it. So think about it. A central bank offering a cryptocurrency, or a digital token, if you want to word it that way, without them being the central authority having any power over it. The central bank wouldn't know who holds the tokens. And so I just wanted to say the concept of this is interesting. I didn't have time to read into this any further. I appreciate XRP Crypto with sending this my way, but this is a rather long document, and I'm not going to be reading this on a Friday night, but at some point I'm sure I'm going to dig through this, or at least browse over it. It's too long. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I think that would just be too... There's no way. But if I can find some pertinent parts, then I will bring this back up in a future video. But for now, I just thought the concept was interesting enough. I wanted to at least, mention it in a video here. All right, the Daily Hodl. This is the fun one. This is what y'all came here for, right? Crypto now buys Whopper shakes and fries at Burger King in Venezuela. Burger King Venezuela has confirmed a new partnership with crypto buyer via Instagram. The fast food giant announced to its 124,000 followers that customers can now pay with popular cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, Binance Coin, Ethereum, and Tether. No word of XRP, womp womp, but whatever. Crypto Buyer's point-of-sale system is rolling out as a pilot in an effort to serve all 40 locations nationwide in 2020. The first location is the Burger King at Centro Sambil, Caracas, the 6th largest shopping mall in South America. So, going for the original use case as Satoshi Nakamoto envisioned it, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, used instead of fiat currency. There you go. According to the announcement by the Dash team, quote, Burger King has been training its teams and stores during the past weeks and will slowly roll out Dash payments into all stores in Venezuela, with plans to also accept the other cryptocurrencies in crypto buyers' portfolio. All right, adds crypto buyer CEO George Farias. This is a quote now, the growth of crypto buyer in South America, especially in Venezuela, is another example of how this region is ahead of the curve in adopting cryptocurrency as a real method of payment. Venezuela presents a mix of circumstances that make it a perfect place to deploy real-world cryptocurrency solutions. Hyperinflation, cash shortages, deteriorated banking, and communication infrastructure. Such factors, in conjunction with the government's initiative to use cryptocurrency as a payment method, will push the use and adoption of these cutting-edge technologies, and we are really proud to lead this push. So this is interesting to me because, by and large, and I think this is a fair critique of Bitcoin and kind of the crypto asset class in general, it's that there's this technology, distributed ledger technology, cryptocurrencies, that's a solution in search of a problem. Have you heard that line before? And I think it's pretty reasonable to frame the everything that's going on in that way. Of course, XRP is actually being used, so it falls outside of that. But it's with XRP being used behind the scenes to solve liquidity problem, basically, the settlement problem for cross-border money transactions. But I still tend to think that even though, okay, there could be parts of the world where this happens to be useful, it's just a matter-of-fact thing as far as I'm concerned, that using cryptocurrency in place of fiat is actually more of a headache than a solution for almost 100% of humans on the planet. But anywhere can get traction. I am all for it. I still think this is a viable use case. I just don't know how long it's going to take for any sort of notable adoption. It could be decades for all I know for this particular use case. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!